Welcome back, everybody. It feels like we were just here yesterday because we were less than 24 hours ago, actually. So today we have some storms coming into the Ottawa area and moving south, and they will eventually cross the St Lawrence Seaway. For those that don't know me, I'm Tom Smetana. Normally we have Connor in the area, but he's our guy in the field, but he's out in Alberta or out west storm chasing on his vacation. So I will be walking you guys through these today. We've got the radar on the screen here currently. They just put a severe warning out for the area, so I will update the text at the bottom of the screen there shortly. It literally just happened. So let's have a look at things and start where we can with the storms. So basically right now there is essentially a line of storms, and I'm going to trace it out for you guys here, that is essentially just moving in a southeasterly trajectory. So this will catch Ottawa. You're going to be Canada, Stittsville, Carleton Place, Lanark, even maybe Buckingham, Orleans, depending how this line progresses. So I'll show you I'll step it back here and kind of show you an evolution of what has taken place. So the storms have come down the Ottawa Valley, basically down the Ottawa River, and as they've approached, the line has widened. So more storms have popped. And latest scan came in. So basically, they got more severe as they got close to Ottawa, and they are now severe warned for the whole region, which is this yellow blocks that we have going on here. The strongest storm, which doesn't surprise me that much, is over the Ottawa River, Dunrobin, Constance Bay, just touching Luskville on the Quebec side. So it is going to get the western portion of Ottawa. Currently, it is just lightning, heavy rain. There is a slight possibility of some small hail in this. Nothing of significance at this time. Now that could change within 5-10 minutes over the next few scans. We had quite a bit of hail in Castleman and east of Ottawa yesterday, up to Toonie sized. So these storms, I'm hoping, don't do the same thing, but they are tracking kind of more of the western portion of Ottawa and moving, again, what we talked about, southeast. I'm just going to pull up the warning here that just came out. Conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms, but may be capable of producing strong wind gusts and large hail. They're calling for wind gusts up to 90 kilometers an hour and up to 2 centimeter hail. That's just under 1 inch. It's about 2/3 of an inch in terms of the hail size. So hail is possible, like we were just discussing. So let me have a look here. I'm going to update my text warning here just for people tuning in, and we'll get that done, and then we'll continue to assess how things are going along. Let me just take a look here. Okay, let's get this put up, and then we'll jump back at this. Okay, so we've got that updated. Let's jump in here and take a look at what's happening. There is a storm popping over Orleans right now. So we are going to see throughout the region again the same stuff that was happening yesterday, but more impacting Ottawa, Canada, more of the urban environments. If you are down on this section to the west, so west of Lanark, Plevna, Umpa, we've got a fairly heavy precipitation area just over here, and again moving southeast. So it's all of this is also heading for the Franktown radar. So as it gets close to the radar, it will kind of be blind in this area roughly here, so the storms won't look as bad right in this area. But that's a bit of it's a bit misleading because the radar just can't see them because it's right on top of them, just the way they scan and work. So let's take a look here. I'm gonna jump in here. We've got maybe some comments here. Just looking to see if there's any questions. Good day to fly a kite. Well, if you're looking to do a science experiment and discover electricity, definitely, Jason, good day to put a kite up and relive that. So let's take a look here. Oh yes, London. Yes, that was the watch, not the warning. So yeah, I mistook that. So let me just click on here. Thanks for doing that, letting me know. Here we go. Here's the warning. So I will read the warning right now. They're tracking severe thunderstorms capable of producing strong wind gusts and up to nickel-sized hail. It is located from Erdley to Limerick Lake, moving southeast at 70 kilometers an hour. So this storm is moving fairly quick. They are calling for those 90-kilometer wind gusts and nickel-sized hail. Okay, so let's just take a look here. Peter's waiting for it in Barhaven. So yeah, it's still a bit of ways out for there, but they are moving quickly. So these storms will pass over you quickly if you are impacted by them, and it will be a lot of rain and some lightning at this point. Now the whole line is not what I would consider severe. You only have 2, maybe 3 pockets of it currently, which again, the Dunrobin, Constance Bay area to Luskville, just west of Lanark here, and Umpa and Plevna right here. Those are the 3 areas right now that I would pay attention to. If you're in those regions southeast of there, definitely you're going to have some rain for probably, I would suspect that the rain wouldn't last much more than 15 minutes average if they maintain their current velocity and size. So let's just go take a look here. I'm also going to try and keep up with any comments or emails that come in. And this will track all the way down to the St. Lawrence and then cross into the U.S. and then it will be their problem from there. There were already some storms over there that have a severe warning in the U.S., but that's not going to impact us in any way. So let's just go back here. Currently in Constance Bay, let's take a look at this. Yeah, it looks like there's a bit of hail in Constance Bay, which is what I was saying. So let me see if I can get this full screen for you folks. And we'll do a share here. Bring this up. So you can see on the deck, there's small, I would say pea-sized or smaller hail there. Quite the torrential downpour. So this great little clip being sent in. Appreciate that. And we'll get back to the main layout here. That was submitted by Jennifer Sloan. So thank you for submitting that. We appreciate it. Always good to have eyes on the ground. I am going to switch over here and show you guys the live satellite view. So this is Eastern Ontario. You can obviously see the line of storms that progress kind of in a southeast trajectory, and you can see how those storms are exploding as they travel down the Ottawa River into the Ottawa region. So that's what we're watching right now on radar, and again, probably 3 areas of higher intensity, and we will track this and see where it goes. It's probably coming right for my house. I live, just give me a sec here. I live just in Kempville, so I'm just in this area right here. So it looks to, there is a gap right here. With my luck, I'll probably miss them because I'm a guy who likes storms, and usually they miss my house for whatever reason. But we'll see what happens as this progresses on. So Hi Tom, how's it looking for the Quinte region later this afternoon? So, Quinte region, you're in that line as well because it essentially this line of storms extends, and you can see that they're starting to pop. So, Quinte being down, just down. Where are we? Oh, why won't it zoom in? Oh, sorry. So Napanee, Quinte, going to be down Belleville area. So you're right on the edge of it right now. There may be some storms right now. Nothing severe warned in that area. You do have a severe thunderstorm watch, and that's exactly for this line of storms that's coming in right now. Just looking at the latest scan here, the Constance Bay, Dunrobin cell that's now heading into Canada, Stittsville, and the western portion of Ottawa has weakened a little in terms of there's probably not any hail in it. However, this portion near Levant, it looks like, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, has some hail in it in this portion of the storm. To the north, so this area here with all the lightning would definitely have some small hail in it. Nothing of any large significance based on what I'm seeing on radar right now. So, okay, just jumping back on questions again here. Is Ottawa going to get hit? So the western portion of Ottawa is definitely going to get hit, and I would suspect, based on the last scan, this is just going to be heavy rain showers at this point. The hail has subsided in that storm, so Ottawa looks to get some rain, just heavy rain and thunder and lightning at this point. Hoping for a storm in Barrhaven, London. You're probably going to get your wish, and you're probably, if this storm continues, it's going to be the heavy part of the storm. And Lincoln says Ottawa definitely has clouds rolling in. Yeah, so it's coming to that point where that storm's going to be on the horizon and heading into that region. So let's see if there's any more submissions that have come in. So just reading a few comments there. So storm heading into looks like Almont, Clayton, Appleton, Carleton Place, and Franktown, like I said, over the radar. So this storm that is just to the northwest of Carleton Place, right here, is doesn't look as severe, but it's because it's getting really close to the radar. So probably just heavy rain in that. I don't see a lot of lightning around it, so the lightning will also tell me whether that portion of the storm is strong. The lightning always records, so it's not, it's just a visual representation that may not look accurate based on when it gets close to the radar. So as you can see, I also have my Kempville weather cam up. Sunny here. And that looks like it's going to change here in the next hour to 2 hours. We'll probably see some rain roll through the area. We had some minor storms this morning, and we'll see if these ones are more intense or not. So we'll keep up with that. And just going to see when the next scan is. So 153 was our last scan. We are at 159 now. We currently have probably about 3 minutes before the next scan rolls in, and we'll see how the storms progress in terms of growing in size and whether this line extends further west. While I'm waiting for that scan, I will look at the Toronto radar to see if it's seeing anything. No, so it's not really seeing anything different than our current local radar. So the storms haven't propagated further west based on that last scan. And so we'll keep an eye on this. And you can see that anybody that tuned in yesterday, obviously these are much smaller storms, more compact, and it's a line just moving through the region. Yesterday, the eastern portion of Ottawa, just in the townships to the east, the vast majority of that area was covered with thunderstorms. So it was a much bigger complex or multicellular system that came through. So we'll see how the next scan looks and then take it from there. And if you guys have any questions like that you're firing in the chat, I'm always happy to answer them as always. we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see what transpires this afternoon. Okay, so let's see if this next scan comes in. Yeah. The two storms I'm most interested in on the radar are the Dunrobin one and the one that's just around Lanark, just to see what those do. This third one down by Ardoch, it looks like it could intensify as well. Based on satellite imagery, it's holding its own at this point, but it could definitely intensify in those regions as well. And we do have some storms down to the south here that are starting to pop, which is south of Smith Falls in Jasper, near Westport, Portland, all kind of south and of Perth. So, will the most intense cell closer to Ottawa reach as east as Cumberland? It's starting to line out. So, what I will show you here, this is going to be the meat of that storm. So, Cumberland, well, I know where Cumberland is, but it's not showing on my radar right now. So, give me a sec here. I'll zoom in a little bit. So Cumberland is right here. I think as long as this area between these two storms does not fill in, you will definitely avoid the heavier part of the storm, but you do have a chance of getting some rain showers in there. So this is the latest update. It looks like the storm that is heading towards Lanark has weakened somewhat, probably a tiny hail in there. And now this storm has reached out to Carp, is now touching Canada, coming into Bell's Corners. This storm here is heading into Appleton and Carleton Place. So this storm has lost some intensity, which is good as it comes into the urban environment. Just heavy downpour and lightning would be my guess on this one, and winds. We'll take a quick look at winds actually while we're here, just to see if there's anything of any significance, but it doesn't look that way. I'm just going to scan through here just to see if there's anything. So no, nothing strong in terms of winds right now as these storms are developing. So that's a good thing. And let's take a look at some comments. When you say it's broad rotation, what does broad versus tight look like on radar? Tristan, so tight rotation, you're looking at how many pixels. So when you really zoom in on information on radar, so I'll zoom right in, you can see all these blocks. So if you have 4, 5, 6 pixels with red and green really bright next to each other, that's going to be a tight rotation. Now if you have an area, for example, that would be this portion of the storm, and you've got red and green on both sides, and it's kind of moderate wind speed, that's very broad rotation, meaning that whole section of the storm is moving. So you're looking for a tight concentric area where you have opposing winds. Jessica, no problem. Appreciate it that you're tuning in, and happy to do that. Brockville, Maitland get hit with any storms? Jamie, yes, these are all heading down that way. So as this progresses, if this line fills in, it's definitely going to come down to the Seaway. So it's going to hit your Ogdensburg on the New York side, but Ingleside, Cornwall possibly, Morrisburg, Cardinal, Johnstown, Brockville, Mallorytown, all of that. Even Kingston is in play. So along the Seaway is definitely in play. So anybody on the river today definitely needs to pay attention, because these storms will make their way down there in the next few hours. And the storm in Ottawa, I will take a quick look if there's any rotation question in the comments. So let's just take a look. There's no real significant rotation in anything to do with the Ottawa storm. This is just normal stuff where you see air moving around, that kind of stuff. There's no real perceptible rotation on the storm. So for now, we're good. I don't suspect there will be today. I think this is mostly a straight lined wind type event, because when you have storms that are in a line in terms of these types of conditions, it doesn't tend to have a ton of rotation on it. So will the most intel move closer to Ottawa, reach as far as east as Cumberland? Yeah, somebody asked that. Yeah, Cumberland, the intense part won't, but you're probably going to get some rain out in Cumberland area. The intense part is going to stay more on the western side of Ottawa at this point. So let's have a quick look here. See if there's any more submissions that have come in. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we are 1:59 on the latest scan. 2:06 is our current time. So we are 2-3 minutes for the next available scan. I'm just going to zoom out here. There is a storm down in Deseronto, Shannonville area, just moving southeast, and it's going to go out over the lake and then cross into the U.S. Nothing, it's just rain showers. There's not even any lightning showing on that storm, so nothing intense at this point. And the rest of it, there are some storms on the Quebec side that are just rain showers at this point. So small pockets of rain up in Quebec Cottage Country and those areas there. Let's just take a look. What do you expect for Perth? So Perth is definitely, that's a question from Aaron. Perth is definitely going to see this cell here more than likely. We'll see what the next scan shows. And this storm is heading, I mean, Perth is right there. So you are going to see rain. If this does expand or track more southeast, that storm has heavy precipitation, some wind on it, and lots of lightning at this time. So that will definitely head for your area as well. Yeah, yesterday's hail, Jessica, was definitely an eye-opener. I actually went through some of the stuff that was on our Facebook page, and I now have a quicker way of accessing it while I'm on the live stream. So I was shocked to see people holding toonies in their hands with hailstones that were bigger than the toonies, and I heard damage did happen out in those areas. So Castleman was a magnet yesterday for whatever reason for hail. So it just kept producing in that area. There was a boundary. I was talking with a storm chasing friend of mine, Mark, and we discussed it, and he was saying there was a boundary that was sitting out there all day, and that's what interacted with the storms and caused them to go more intense. So yeah, shocking at the size of the hail we saw. And let's see if the next scan comes in. Seeing if anything else is happening. Okay, there's our next scan. So the storm from Ottawa is essentially just heavy rain at this point. It will come through Elmer. Hull will probably see some of it. Not as much in Gatineau at this point. A little bit of rain. Canada, Bell's Corner is getting some rain there now. Almont definitely getting some heavy rain. And again, we look at Franktown, Innisfil, Carleton Place. This is kind of the blind spot for the radar that I was explaining earlier. And that's this pocket right in here. So it doesn't really see anything in that area. So the storm doesn't look bad, but it's probably just heavy rain at this point. Again, I don't see any lightning on it. This storm that is northwest of Perth is continuing to grow in size. Heavy rain in that, possibly tiny hail You know, it's reaching out to McDonald's corners, and then the next larger storm would be this one just north of Charlotte Lake. So if anybody's camping out there, you're definitely going to see some lightning and thunder and some winds. Obviously, some heavy precipitation and possibly some small hail in that as well. So let me get back here to some of the questions. Perfect. So Smith Falls, yes, Smith Falls, you are going to definitely see this line of storms come through. I'm just pulling back here to have a look. This pocket of storms that are right here are going to make their way down to Smith Falls. Something just fired south of there, but these are heading in this direction, so you're definitely going to see some rain and thunder and lightning from that. Question from Tristan, whether Connor is going to get into anything today. He opted not to drive overnight to Saskatchewan. There's a chase in the, I believe, southeast corner of Saskatchewan today, right on the Canada-US border. He is doing some sightseeing, so he's doing Banff, Lake Louise, Morant's Curve. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff out there. So he's doing the tourist thing today. So no storms for Connor today, but we're holding down the fort here while he's gone, and just getting people with the accurate information. So pea-sized hail in my area. Tornado Pro, where is that? Your area? Just so I can confirm. And then I'm just noticing also while we wait for the answer there, Vars, Limoges, Emblem, there's some storms popping that were in that area yesterday. So right now, not even any lightning. So this is just rain at this point, and some wind. So nothing like what you saw yesterday at this point. So hopefully that does not intensify, and we'll keep an eye on those as they progress towards that Castleman area. So South March, oh, in Canada, yeah, so you're getting actually pea-sized hail. That's interesting. So the next scan, I suspect, based on that, is that maybe we're going to see a core intensify on this storm that is just on the western portion of Ottawa, because hail falling should reflect on the radar better as well. Good afternoon, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you checking us out. Canadian Timbits. Meanwhile, my kids are having fun with their friends at Calypso Water Park in Limoges. Yeah, they're about to get rained on. No lightning, so that's good. So the park will get wet for a little bit. And again, these storms are moving fairly quick, so the duration of while these storms are over top of any part of the region should be short-lived, and shouldn't be too impactful in terms of time duration. So Stittsville, I just have thunder. Yes, you're just to the south of that main storm, so that's where you're hearing all of that thunder coming from. You are going to get a bit of rain that's just going to skirt the Stittsville area. Thunder starting in Barrhaven. Thank you for the update, Cinnamon. Looks dark towards Canada. Yes, that's that big storm, so definitely makes sense. Sunny and no wind in Cornwall coming from Fay. Yes, it's coming in that direction. So you will see that in the next couple of hours. If the storms sustain and continue southeast, you will definitely see them come through your region later on, I would say in the next 2 to 3 hours roughly. Getting heavy in Lanark, headed towards Balderson. Heavy rain now. Perfect. Thanks, RJ, for the update. Or RG, my apologies. And now thunder in Elmer, Quebec. So everything's tracking the way we're seeing on radar. Nothing is too intense at this point, but we are monitoring as things progress this afternoon. So we'll just take a look here. Perfect. Okay. So we are 211. So this scan just came in recently, so we've got a bit of time to wait on that. It looks like, so Environment Canada has done a pretty good job of putting out the warning box. So far, most of the storms are staying, I guess, east of Arden or Caladar, if you're more familiar with that area. So just in the Charbot Lake area. And it will just be on the edge of Kingston for that severe portion. Nothing is expanding too far west at this point, so it's just going to be what we're looking at on radar here currently. So lightning in Hull, no rain yet. Yep, you will have the rain soon, I believe, and definitely going to get some lightning. Bell's Corners, rain has near stopped. Thunder, wind has picked up. Small lightning flash from Jade. So squeeze into Bell's Corners. Yeah, so Bell's Corners, depending how this has progressed, you are here, and if this has moved, you're probably in this pocket right here. So you're going to catch this portion next. That's why you've got rain, no rain, and then you're going to get some more rain like you're suspecting. So definitely what we're seeing here. Okay, let me just take a look here. And I suspect that we're now, 2 o'clock. So I would think that these storms will be over the St. Lawrence 5 o'clock, somewhere in there, or close to that, roughly. So we're talking the next 2 to 3 hours for it to kind of traverse down from Ottawa down to the St. Lawrence Seaway and then cross into New York. Okay. See if there's an update here soon. Hopefully the storm going into Ottawa doesn't intensify just as it comes into those urban environments. I'm curious what the next scan will show for that. We do have a couple of storms down here. So Mallorytown, just south of Brockville as well. There's a couple of cells that have kind of popped and are going over the seaway and are going to go almost immediately into New York, so they'll be out of the area, but heavy precipitation, no lightning on those storms currently. And if you guys have anything you want to submit to us, obviously our email's at the top of the screen. If you've got photos of storms, even if it's just as the storm's approaching, we like to share nice photos on the stream. And if you've got video of what's going on, always happy to share that if we have time on the stream, and we'll go from there. So always appreciate those submissions. So just reading a comment here, Stephanie, Westboro and Ottawa, do you think there will be hail? Should I find somewhere to hide my car? We had bad damage once and just got a new car. Stephanie, I suspect your hail damage was from July of 2 years ago, because I worked near Westboro back then, and my car sustained $12,000 worth of hail damage. So I understand that, the leeriness towards that. Right now, there's nothing intense in terms of hail. If there's any hail, it's pea-sized or smaller, which will not damage your vehicle. You need to get into 2-inch hail, where you get into golf balls bigger than toonie, then you start to get damage on certain vehicles. So I think you're okay with your vehicle. I'm waiting for the next scan here. We have 8 minutes ago was the 211 scan. So we get our updates every 9-10 minutes roughly in Canada. So just, it's a little slower here in Canada. US, the radars update every about 3 minutes. When there's a precipitation events happening here, we get the updates slower. So we'll see what this shows. I'll tell you in the next scan if you have anything to worry about. But if you have an easy way of putting the car away, then I would, it's always better be safe than sorry. But This scan right now looks like the storm weakened. That's heading towards Ottawa. So there's definitely less intensity on this storm cell that has come into Bell's Corners, Canada, and the western portion of Ottawa. So currently it is weakening somewhat. The storms to the east of Ottawa, Limoges, Vars, there's a line forming there that's going to go through Russell, Embrun, Castleman, that kind of general area. Those are picking up a little bit of intensity, just heavy rain at this point. Might be tiny hail in it, but no lightning even showing. And in fact, I think I've lost my lightning off my application here. So let me just reset my lightning. Yeah, okay, so I lost my lightning. I apologize. That's a software issue. So there is some lightning on those storms out in the Vars area, Limoges. Nothing super intense, but there are lightning strikes that way. So let me just scroll down through the complex here. As these storms, Carleton Place is definitely getting a good downpour right now with Ashton, Clayton, Innisville. All those areas are definitely getting a good downpour. Perth is definitely getting some rain now. And as this system that's over top of the radar, these storms here, as they move further away, we will get more details because that radar, as I've explained a couple of times on the stream, is blind right over top of it. So hard to get an understanding of what the storms are doing there now. Light rain in Stittsville. Perfect. Thanks, Ryan. Heavy rain in Elmer. Yeah, that would make sense. It was over 12K for us, Stephanie. Yes. So I worked at a car dealership at the time, and let me tell you, it destroyed the entire inventory. We only had one car that was inside at the time, and that was the only car that was, I think, undamaged in the whole event. So the worst part was we were delivering some vehicles that people were picking up literally in the hailstorm, and their brand new car that they just signed for getting wrecked by hail, which we felt awful. But what can you do? I mean, it's Mother Nature. So it was an event I definitely will remember. I have some video of it, and if I have time, I might pull it up. But that was 2 years ago. So. Grifter, thanks for the coverage. Yes, we're here to do that. I appreciate the kind words. Always, if you guys are interested in this kind of live coverage, definitely subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications, because we are primarily going to be a live stream channel that we will be covering all sorts of weather in this region, Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec. So we want to get you guys updates as things happen. And also give you an understanding of when you get, for example, a severe warning for a thunderstorm. Yesterday, there were lots of people that got severe thunderstorm warnings that were behind the storms. And that's just a fallout from the way our warning system works in Canada. So it was good to be able to explain to those folks that they were in the clear, there was nothing to worry about, and it was just an automated system. So. Rain has stopped in Dunrobin. Yes, you are free and clear. Dunrobin is already out of it. There is nothing behind these storms, and I don't suspect there'll be anything the rest of the day once these storms have passed you. So you are in the clear for the day. Just a sec here. Rain on North Augusta right now. Just light rain. Yes, so you're probably getting some of the pockets of light rain in that area. So Jessica, I do have a Facebook page. So we have 3 pages. So there's Connor Mockett, Storm Chaser, that most of you know. Then there's myself, Tom Smetana, but I have a page called Twisted Brother Chasing. That is my hobby, or was my hobby, for storm chasing for the last 10-15 years. So Twisted Brother Chasing is where you can find my personal stuff. And then Canadian Weather Live now has a Facebook page as well. So you can go over there. In the future, we will be live streaming to Facebook, and we will probably be live streaming to all those pages. That's coming in the future, though. And so you'll be able to watch on YouTube or on Facebook as our channel and our systems grow. That's where we're heading with things. Perfect. Getting quite dark and cloudy here in Smith Falls. Big cumulus clouds. Looks like thunderstorms coming our way. So yes, you are definitely getting the line of storms that's coming in from the northwest, coming through Carleton Place currently, Lanark. There is some in the Perth area right now. So Smith Falls is definitely in line there as these storms move southeast. And again, just highlight what's happening here. For the most part, there's a line here, and all of this is just moving in this general direction, southeast. So that's anybody that's in that area is definitely going to see some impact from these storms today. Smith Falls, okay, we just talked about that. On and off rain, but you're definitely going to get more rain in Smith Falls just as these storms come through. So I would suspect those storms will be there within the next half an hour to an hour. And I don't think you're going to see hail, but again, we are right on top of that radar, so I don't have as good a read on those storms. I can look from a further away radar that's in New York, so I can take a quick look to see, but it is far away, and that's the problem. So right now, it doesn't look like there's any hail anywhere in that area. Innisfil might get close to having some hail just based on what I'm looking here. This is what we call vertically integrated liquid, meaning how much liquid is in the storm from top to bottom. So that, just looking at that, there's no current hail signature on that that I would be concerned about. But it is a faraway radar, so it's not as accurate as you would have with a closer radar. So 223, 227, so we're 4 minutes into this latest update. Just going to go back to the Ottawa area. Elmer, Bell's Corners, Canada, just still getting heavy rain. Again, all of this looks to be sticking to the western portion of Ottawa. The eastern portion doesn't look like it's going to get anything in terms of Orleans or Cumberland. Rockland is getting some pop-up storms that are happening, and there's actually a storm happening over Hawkesbury that I see over here. L'Orignal. This storm just went in the last few scans, yes. So this is one to keep track of. We had some viewers from the Hawkesbury, Vankleek Hill area yesterday. This probably has hail on it. It is tracking east. This core of the storm looks to be just south of Hawkesbury, but if it expands, it could even impact Hawkesbury. This is just heavy precipitation, small hail, and lightning, it looks like. So just picked up on that little storm that just intensified. Let's have a look down south here. We're going to go into Mallory Town, though. So those storms that are moving into New York are fairly intense right over the Seaway. So anybody who's on a boat in this corridor here is definitely not having a fun time at this point. That would be heavy rain and possibly some small hail in there. Storm just west of Morton, north of Sealy's Bay, possibly has a little bit of hail on it. Heavy precipitation as well, so just something to keep an eye on. And the rest of this just looks mostly like heavy precipitation on these storms here. Regular rain for the rest. And I'm curious if Environment Canada is going to extend out the warning for these storms in this area here as they move southeast, whether there'll be any warnings that get put out ahead of them. So, and whether this, also, it's interesting, I'm just going to go back here to see, when did this go up? That was a little while ago. So they haven't warned the storm itself. There is a watch out there, and we'll see if that storm gets severe warned as well. Okay, let's have a look here, catch up on a few things. Okay, just checking to see, and this is, doesn't say where it's from. It's from Patricia LeDuc. I'm not sure what area it is. So when you guys submit anything into us on the live stream or on our Facebook page, if you can just mark where it is, just so for quick reference I have an idea. I'm trying to see if I can figure out where this person lives, but I can't quickly do that. So just image of some storms coming in, it's probably, one of these cells that we're looking at. But anytime you submit anything, just let us know from what region. That way we can inform people properly and make sure we're giving out the accurate information of what's going on. Okay, so 2:23, 2:30. So we're about 2-3 minutes out from our next radar update. And we'll just have a look here. I'm definitely curious about this storm in Hawkesbury to see. It's the most intense one on the map currently. And storms tend to do that, in the environment. If it can't support long-lived, strong storms, you get a really quick burst of energy. The storm grows, and then it kind of levels off, weakens a little bit, and then just continues, which is what we're essentially seeing here happening. So as these storms progress, I'm going to have to make sure I close the windows on my car because I don't want an interior shampoo on it. So I will have to remember to do that. Let's just take a look here. Because right now, I'm just going to see if we can see you can't see the storm clouds coming in on the horizon. I was just checking to see on my camera if over the trees we could see anything, but there's nothing there. We'll go to the visible satellite. So as you can see in the center of the screen is where our storms are in the Ottawa area, and you can see that the concentration is from Ottawa kind of southwest. Those are the most intense portions of what we're looking at right now. Okay. Just see if anything's happening down here. No. Okay, we'll just wait for the next update. Should be any second here. I know yesterday Hawkesbury dodged all sorts of storms and only got a little bit of rain, so it was interesting to watch that. So thunder and rain in Westboro, Ottawa, but looks like the sky is getting brighter again. Stephanie making that comment. Thank you for the update. Yeah, you will see that this storm, I guess it depends if it's dying or not. If this is reducing in size, it may be a very short-lived storm that weakened just before it got to the urban, western. Yes, so that's perfect. The scan popped up just as we're discussing it. This storm is definitely dying at this point. That's not saying it may not re-intensify on the other side of Ottawa, but currently it is dying. So you are definitely seeing it break up, and it's right now you're just going to have some wind, thunder, and heavy rain. No hail that I can see for that. The storm that's right over the radar, so this area, of course it's over the radar. So anybody in Carleton Place is out of it now by the looks of it. There may be actually still some rain there, but hard to tell with the proximity to the radar. But this storm is now the intense portion of what we're looking at towards Franktown, and I'll heading towards Merrickville, Smith Falls, Burritts Rapids, that kind of area there. There's also one that just popped south of Smith Falls that continues to intensify. So if you are, let's look at here, Jasper, there's not too many towns right there, but southwest of Smith Falls, there is an intense core on this one here. There is going to be quite a bit of hail. This will be smaller hail, pea-sized hail, but that is a signature for an intense core on the storm. There doesn't seem to be any lightning though, which is interesting that there's no lightning showing there. So I'm just going to double check that my lightning hasn't, it's been acting up on this the last couple of days, but no, it seems to be okay. So we will keep an eye on this portion of the storm as it heads towards the Seaway. That would end up going towards Maitland, Brockville, Mallorytown area, possibly up to Johnstown, depending on how it tracks. And then these storms to the east of Ottawa, unfortunately, are picking up some intensity. So people that were affected by them yesterday, Limoges, Embrun, Castleman is just on the eastern edge of it, Metcalfe as well on the western edge. There are a couple of small pockets of more intense precipitation in here and in here. There could be very small pea-sized hail in there as well. So if you're in that area, just keep that in mind. Just looking here at some more comments. Thunder in North Gower. Yeah, that's heading towards us. Doesn't look like we're going to get too intense a rainfall here, it looks like. I seem to be a awesome... I call myself a storm shield sometimes because the storms avoid me. So small hail in L'Orignal, according to my father who lives there. So that's a great update for us. Thank you. Will there be any more storms in Ottawa? So once this complex moves through, that's a question from Julian and Denton. So once this complex moves out, I don't think you're going to see anything for the rest of the day. It's more than likely that that's going to be the only thing you see. I'm just zooming back out of here from Ottawa, and nothing to the northwest happening, and models did not show that, so I think you're okay for the rest of the day in Ottawa. Crazy downpour in that Hawthorne Business Park in Ottawa right now just started. Thank you for the update, Tinkerbella. Appreciate that. Orleans upgraded to a warning 2:07 to 5 p.m. Let's just look at Orleans. There's just a tiny pixel of storms here, or of a storm, I should say. Nothing intense there, so I don't know why the warning would have gone out, but it's probably to do more with the big warning that was put out, but I'm not 100% sure about that. We'll wait for an update here. Moderate rain in Hawkesbury, thunder about 10 minutes ago. Perfect. Thunder in central Ottawa. Yeah, that makes sense. So we are, as these storms are tracking through, it's definitely, the Ottawa one is definitely weakening as you guys are commenting. So yes, it's definitely not an issue for the Ottawa area. Our area of concern is this stuff over Franktown, south of Carleton Place, and the one in Smith Falls. So we'll wait for the next radar scan. The lightning is maintaining on this storm that we were just talking about over Franktown, so we'll keep an eye on that. Rain has started in Barrhaven, but it's fairly light. Yeah, unfortunately, Barrhaven, you're not going to get a lot of rain. That storm came apart, and I can actually show you how it changed in intensity in the last half an hour. I'm just going to go back here a few scans. So if we go back to where this came through just before Fitzroy Harbor, Quillon, very intense storm in terms of precipitation, and you can see just after Dunrobin it starts to weaken, comes into Ottawa, and then essentially comes apart. So Barrhaven, you're not going to see a ton of rain, so you're still going to have to water your lawn today if your lawn is hurting in terms of like mine is. So Ottawa, bigger systems dodge Ottawa. There has been a pattern of some of the bigger systems definitely missing the Ottawa area. Yesterday is a perfect example. All the storms stayed to the north for the most part and just caught the eastern portion in Orleans and tracked and kind of turned south after Ottawa. So yeah, totally agree with that. Again, I should maybe hire out my services and just come hang out with people that don't want storms, because they tend to avoid me for some reason, and I'm not 100% sure why. Let's have a quick look here. This is our latest scan at 2:35. The Russell, Kenmore, Metcalfe, well, Metcalfe's to the west of it, but Embrun definitely getting some more intense precipitation on these three areas right here. Possibly some small pea-sized hail in that, but definitely a heavy downpour with those storms right there. I'm going to take a look at the Hawkesbury storm. So what I was discussing earlier, the Hawkesbury storm went up with a bang and now has kind of leveled off. It's still heavy precipitation to the south of southwest of Hawkesbury. Lightning and rain is just your biggest thing that's going to happen on that storm. So we'll see the next scan whether it intensifies. This storm that's over the Franktown radar is definitely intense because it's even showing some purple in there right over top of the radar. And the storm south of Smith Falls is also showing some decent intensity. I'm going to zoom out here and see if I can look from the radar in near Watertown. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, so definitely heavy precipitation. Again, this radar is far away, so it's harder for it to see what's exactly going on in the storm, but lots of rain coming towards Smith Falls, Merrickville, Rideau Ferry from this storm that's currently to the northwest. So I'll zoom back out. And if you're in that area and you've got photos or anything in terms of Franktown or closer proximity to, south of Carleton Place, anything in this region, and you've got photos, we'd be happy to, see them on the stream. That would be awesome. We're a little blind in that area, so let's take a look here. Friend in Britain's is saying 3 p.m. could be ugly. Is he correct? I don't know where Britain's is. That's my biggest problem. So give me a sec here. Let me look that up. That is a question from Nadine. Sorry. I will. We are 240 right now. I'm not sure where that is. Is there a town, and this is towards Nadine, if you could name me a town that's a little bigger or an area that I can take a look at, I'll let you know what's going to happen if I can. Perth got smoked a few weeks ago. Yes, I was actually out in that area that time. Definitely some areas have had some storms that have caused damage, and then you can be down the road 10 kilometers and nothing happened. And that's exactly why, if you look at our region today, you see all these storms that are in the area, but they're very small, compact, and there's plenty of areas that aren't seeing anything in terms of rain or any kind of effect from these storms. So it's always tough to read. Oh, Britannia. Okay, yes. So that storm in Britannia, no, that's the storm that came through Ottawa, and it weakened as it came in. So just before it got to the area, it weakened significantly, and it's almost dying off essentially. So Britannia's just seeing rain. There's nothing intense in that area. The three areas that we have with intensity are definitely going to be to the east of Ottawa, around the Russell, Greeley, Limoges, Castleman area, and then around Innisville, south of Carleton Place, Franktown, and then south of Smith Falls. Those are our three areas of intense precipitation, including possibly some hail in those areas. So those are the ones I'm personally keeping an eye on. And we'll see 2:35. That's 8 minutes ago. So next minute or two, we should have a new scan, and we'll see how this changes out at this point. But Ottawa missed quite a bit, to be totally honest with you. The way it was coming in, it looked like that there was going to be decent rain in Ottawa, and the western portion of Ottawa at least. Okay, let me have a quick look. Just getting an update here. Heavy rain in Limoges with a fair amount of thunder. Skies aren't too dark, but it's coming down. Thank you for the update, William. That was through the Facebook page. Let's just take a look here. I got an email. Yeah, just east of Bell's Corners. It was raining, a couple of rumbles, but nothing dramatic. That is a submission from Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for sending that in. Definitely that storm died as it came into Ottawa, so nothing too intense coming through the Ottawa area at this point. Okay, so there's our next update. Hawkesbury storm is continuing to maintain some strength. It is just heavy rain and thunder and lightning and some wind. Currently, the storm has gone east. It's kind of on the southeast corner of Ottawa. There's a little bit of heavy precip and possibly some small hail in this storm here that's just about to get over the 417 on the eastern part of Ottawa, and it's going to track kind of southeast, south of that 417. Again, south of Metcalfe, Kenmore, Russell, those areas have some intense rain heading southeast from there. So Vernon, Marionville, Morwood, Chrysler, just going to see some heavy rain. The storm right over the radar continues to look like it's got some intensity to it, some decent lightning. So that is continuing to head towards Port Elmsley, Smith Falls, Merrickville, and Burritts Rapids. What else have we got here? Jasper, there's another storm just coming there. That's again south of Smith Falls. That storm has lost a little bit of intensity. And we also have another cell that's kind of popped here down by Brinston. Let me just back it up. So this was just rain showers. It still is just rain showers, but it's gotten heavy just over Brinston. There could possibly be a tiny amount of hail in it. We'll see how that progresses. And then there's an intense line down here, down by the Seaway as things get closer to down there. Obviously, things have crossed over into the U.S. Once it's crossing, obviously, the Seaway right here, roughly. These storms are already in New York on the east side or on the right side of the screen. So Sealy's Bay, Mallory Town getting another douse of rain, maybe a little bit of lightning, and Verona right now just heavy downpour and some lightning and wind. So that's what's going on in our region right now. Anybody that's had these storms kind of go by for the most part once the complex moves through, and I'll highlight this. So once this kind of cluster of storms move southeast, that's the last of any of the precipitation that we should see for the region. So all of this is just going to slowly drift southeast, I should say, and once that's done, you're in the clear essentially. So I'm just going to look to see. Oh, Evan's out there. So Evan's a Eastern Ontario storm chaser. So that's his spotter dot. For those that don't know, on this application that we use, Radar Scope, you can have spotter dots turned on, meaning, for example, I have my own spotter dot. So when I'm on a storm, people, let's say I'm in the U.S. or I'm out west in, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, somebody can reach out or look at my social media to see what I'm posting to understand what's, happening with that storm if I'm doing that. So let's look at comments here. Lots of thunder in North Gower. Yeah, we saw that. My car says temp in Canada has dropped to 15 degrees. Wow, that's a definite shift in temperature. I'm just looking to see what we've got here. We've got 24 roughly in Kempville. So yeah, 10 degree drop, 9 degree drop with the way the rain came through. It'll warm up fairly quick once that sunshine returns. So you'll get back to, unfortunately, with these quick storms, the humidity level will go up. Question from Mel, anything in Bourget? So let's take a pan over here to Bourget. Excuse me. So Bourget has just some rain to the north of it. Probably you're sitting in rain right now because this scan is from 2:41, which was 8 minutes ago. Nothing serious or intense at this point based on what I'm seeing on radar here. Just rain and a little bit of lightning for Bourget. Yes, you guys did get hit pretty hard yesterday. Question, how bad is it going to be for Russell? Russell right now, just heavy rain, maybe pea-sized hail. But definitely some possibilities depending where in Russell, because obviously, depends where you're located. But south of Russell is definitely going to have more intense rain than north, currently based on that radar scan there. Pouring in thunder in Castleman. It keeps stopping though. So yeah, it's so we've just got the latest radar scan. So Castleman's just going to be getting rain. It's weakening there in Castleman. Currently, an intense portion here for just northwest of Vernon, south of Russell, into Morewood. This area here, heavy precipitation, possibly some small hail. That's definitely an area. Also, back here, definitely getting some heavy precipitation moving southeast. So, if that continues, that may come into Russell. So, definitely keep an eye out for that. The storm over Hawkesbury is definitely not strengthening, just weakening, and it's not over Hawkesbury. I should say it's between Hawkesbury and Vankleek Hill. Just heavy precipitation there. The Brinston storm is maintaining its intensity. No lightning on it, but heavy precipitation for this small pocket of area just southeast of Brinston. This storm here that's come over the radar and was moving through, again, we're talking about Burritts Rapids, Merrickville, potentially Smith Falls is going to see quite a bit of rain. It is hard to tell how heavy the precipitation is in there, but it seems like it's quite heavy, and I'm basing this off the lightning that's in there, which tells me that the storm is maintaining its strength. And the line to the south that we were looking at, Mallory Town, definitely getting heavy precipitation, heading down towards Lansdowne, Rockport, Alexandria Bay. Those areas are definitely going to see some interaction with this weather. Let's back out here. Oh yeah, I'm starting to see clouds here out my window. Just going to take a look at something here. Just look back at comments. How bad is it going to be, Elizabeth, in Smith Falls? Smith Falls could get quite a bit of heavy rain. It's on the southern tip of it, and it's right now, as I've been mentioning in the forecast, the radar is right in Franktown. So the radar is generally blind for the most part over directly overhead of it. So I'm having a hard time reading what's happening there. I am going to pan back here and look at the radar from the U.S. It's a little further away, but you're going to have, let's just click on this. So Smith Falls, right now to the north of Smith Falls, between Franktown and Smith Falls, definitely getting a ton of precipitation, heavy downpour, lightning, and some wind. I don't think there's hail there, but it's hard to tell just because of being blind on that radar somewhat. So it's moving southeast. It might miss Smith Falls just to the north, but it could expand towards Smith Falls. So it's hard to give you an exact answer to that, but there is a stronger cell to the north of you that's just, again, heavy rain, wind, and some lightning. Let's just take a look here. So let me get back to some comments. 2 rounds of small hail a bit north of Metcalfe. Okay, good to know. Yeah, that would play right based on what I've been seeing on radar. How's it looking for Charleston Lake? Very dark and lightning here currently. So let's just take a look here. Give me 1 second. I'll pinpoint it for you. So you are down by the Seaway, Mallory Town. So Charleston Lake, Mallory Town, sorry, I'm on the wrong thing here. Mallory Town. Charleston Lake, you're behind it, but so there's a line that kind of came through. There are storms to the south that are moving south away from you, but there is this complex back to the north that is probably going to miss you, but you could still get a little bit of rain depending how this progresses, because Charleston Lake is right down here, and then this looks to track this way, so it probably will miss it, but it depends if it grows or expands, which is hard to tell, obviously. in advance too much, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Huck at work in Dorval can update you from Hawkesbury. Appreciate that. The little cell moved south of Hawkesbury. It was only rain and some lightning and a little bit of wind. Nothing too intense would be my guess. The sky looks sketchy around Perth. So let's just get Perth. It's because to the east or northeast there's a fairly strong cell that is going to miss Perth. For the most part, Perth is done with the precipitation for today. It's just going to look scary all around you. South of you in Rideau Ferry, you've got a storm, but the big one is to the northeast that you're seeing there. Just had hail in Brockville. Really? Okay, so these storms that came across, thank you for the update. That is from J&J. So I'm just going to back up the radar here. So interesting. Little storm popped, got pretty intense right at this moment. That was at 2:41. Then the intensity died off as it moved east or southeast across the St. Lawrence. So interesting to hear that there was some hail in that. Thank you for the update. We just got a marine warning out for the St. Lawrence. That's what this orange box is. Well, it's not a box, but the orange outline is for a marine warning. For boaters who are out there, that kind of stuff, as I was mentioning earlier, would not want to be on the water with some of these storms moving through the area. So if you know anybody in that area and can get a hold of them, definitely let them know not to be out on the water for the next little while. Rain and thunder in North Augusta just started. Thank you for the update, Taylor. Sun is out in Hawkesbury. Had a few minutes of rain and a bit of thunder. Marie, thank you for tuning back in today. Yeah, definitely. It had some intensity to the southwest, but then kind of died off after that. And I'm just going to do an update here. Sorry, give me 1 second. And we'll take a look. Thank you for the update, Marie. 1 out of 10 on her personal scale for intensity. So we're going to, that's good to hear that it wasn't bad for storms in that area. And again, it's very isolated the way these storms have kind of spread out if we're looking at the radar. And some areas won't see anything. Again, I'm right in Kempville and I'm lining myself up to miss everything. I don't know why, but if it tracks like this, I'm not going to see anything essentially. Everything will be to the west, or to the southwest, and to the northeast. But I'm used to that at this point because it's almost a running joke amongst us as chasers out this way. Kempville tends to get missed by everything. So let's take a look here. 2:53. So that update came in 5 minutes ago. So we still have a little bit of time here, till things update. Sorry for the next one. I'm just gonna check all my other applications here. Okay, a few submissions here. I'm just gonna take a look. Oh, perfect. This is, let me bring this up here. I'll share this one. This one here, this is David Matthews sending this in 4 kilometers south of Gillies Corners near Franktown, 13 kilometers north of Smith Falls. So he's just giving us a video here. I'll bring it up on the screen. So he's just showing us the dark clouds coming in, little bit of wind, just as the storm was approaching the area. So definitely what we're seeing on radar is translated here. That's as the storm was approaching him. So we will switch back here. And then what's this? Sylvie LaChapelle, Embrun Vars, about 25 minutes ago. Oh, perfect. So again, we were talking about hail in some of these storms. I will bring that back up so you can see here. This is a picture that was submitted. You can see pea-sized hail falling with the precipitation this afternoon. So definitely thank you for that submission. And that again was from Sylvie LaChapelle out of Embrun Vars area through one of our Facebook pages. Okay, let's watch this portion here. So the two storms I'm mostly interested in are definitely the Smith Falls, Merrickville, Burritts Rapids portion with the Vernon, Morwood, Kenmore storm. Those are the two areas that have the most potential at this point. So sunny here now southwest of Perth, but I do hear thunder. Yeah, Logger John, thanks for tuning in again today. Going back to look here, Perth is out in the clear essentially. You're again hearing that storm that's to your east towards that's north of Smith Falls essentially. That's storm's got some oomph behind it, a little bit of a punch there, so that's the one I'm going to keep an eye on as well. Kempville threading the needle again. Yeah, you can blame me. I've got broad shoulders, so I'm the one who definitely keeps the weather away. And I've even got clips of radar where I'm literally watching a line of storms or snow or whatever, and as a chaser it just splits and goes either side of me, and I just sit there wondering why. But a lot of people don't like storms, so it works for them. So it's kind of a two-sided coin. It looks like it's going to miss Canada. Yeah, there's the Canada, Ottawa area is completely clear now. So anybody in these urban environments, Barrhaven, Canada, Bells Corners, Dunrobin, Elmer, Orleans, all of that, you guys are basically in the clear. There won't be anything of any significance for the rest of the day by the looks of things. So definitely out of that. Carleton Place, Almont, Clayton, all in the clear there. Lanark, Innisville. So we're just watching as these storms drift southeast from here and continue to progress towards the Seaway. And that's why they have that marine warning up as these other storms come down. They're definitely going to impact that area on the water. So definitely don't be out on the water when these storms are coming through. Hail like crazy in Marionville. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that update. So Marionville getting some hail. And not surprised to hear that too much. Thank you for the on-the-ground update. And then we call it the Kempville split. Yeah, I'm a storm killer. I've had all sorts of different versions, but yes, it's definitely the Kempville split. And it's interesting to watch how... maybe I'll do a video one time where I take all my clips and put them together showing how where I'm sitting and how the storms just kind of divide and don't come anywhere near me. So we'll keep an eye on that though. Okay, what's happening here? Okay. Perfect. Okay, wondering if there's any power outages. I don't whether there's any left from you. I know there was a large one yesterday, but doesn't seem to be. I'm just checking the hydro map here, Hydro Ottawa power outage map, and there doesn't seem to be anything of any significance from these storms. The only one I can find is up by Buckham's Bay, McLaren's Landing area. It's only about 350 customers out. I mean, and there's still 350 customers that aren't happy on a day like today, but that's the biggest outage I can find. Everywhere else for now seems to be just extremely minor. Nothing of any significance again. So let's watch what happens here, and we'll take a look at the latest scan as soon as that comes through. Okay, yes, the Kempville split is so true, coming from Janet. Yeah, I don't know. I moved here 15 years ago. Anybody know if that's when it started, happening? Because I can take the blame for it. According to the Weather Network, they just put out that 3 p.m. warning severe. Yeah, I don't know why the Weather Network would be doing that. I don't have the details on it, so I don't want to comment, but if it's for the Ottawa area, definitely nothing for 3 p.m. In terms of that. Again, severe for us in our region is going to be the Morewood, Winchester, Vernon area, and then Burritts Rapids, Merrickville, Jasper, Smith Falls. Those are the two intense storms that are coming through, and those definitely have small hail in them, and lightning and wind and rain. So just heavy precipitation. So that's it. So I can't comment on the Weather Network, but if you want to stick with what's happening live, that's what we're here for. And we're doing an in-depth detail analysis in terms of what happens in the region. So happy to contribute to that. Does Kempville have a lot of churches? Yeah, I don't know what the church per capita is out here, but that's definitely a possibility. So interesting to maybe know if that's the case. Hank does vids. Hi Tom, you got a new subscriber. Thank you very much for subscribing. We always appreciate anybody that wants to tune in and follow us. Again, I know I've said this in previous streams, we are going to do this throughout the year. Winter storms will be one of the bigger things that we do for people traveling. If you're commuting to work in the morning, whatever the reason, we're going to try and give you live conditions from traffic cameras, from radar, from people on the ground. And also using, Google Maps to show where, traffic issues and that kind of stuff is. So definitely lots to come for this channel in the near future. 220. Okay, so Vanessa Brazo got in the Hawkesbury storm at 2:20 and had to pull over due to torrential rain and lots of hail. So that sounds like, Vanessa, you were probably somewhere just a little bit south of Hawkesbury, if I had to guess. Thank you for that update. It definitely was intense when it first got going. So it's good to see that what we're seeing on radar is translating out there. Janet, being in the area for 17 years, so I don't think it's you. Okay, good. Phew. Cool. Okay, so let's see when our next scan is going to be here. 2:59, 8 minutes ago. So we'll see what these two storms for Morewood area and down by Smith Falls, what they're going to look like on this next scan. So we'll continue on that. Oh, I've got some more submissions coming in here. Just want to see. Yeah, so this is a video actually from Sylvie LaChapelle at 2:35. She followed up with a video here, submission to the channel. So just give me a sec here. I'll pull that up for you guys. And we'll start it right here. Okay, let me get that shared for you guys. So this is, again, Embram Vars. This was about half an hour ago, so just coming out onto the, looks like back porch possibly, and just you can see the small hail coming down. With some heavy rain, which is what we were discussing that was probably happening. So nice to see that. Thank you for the submission once again. Okay. Just check if there's anything else. No. Okay, let's get back to this. Thanks, Nadine. Appreciate the kind words. We do try being spot on. We're definitely not, there's always room for improvement, but we definitely try to give accurate information without any kind of fear-mongering or anything like that. Definitely a lot of channels out there will, what I call clickbait, saying, that it's going to get super severe or super intense. The possibilities are there. Whether it happens or not is always the question, and we would rather err on the side of caution and give you more accurate information. So I appreciate that comment. Hailstorm in Jasper. Yes, so this storm continues to intensify. So this storm here has definitely got hail in it. So this is Merrickville, Easton Corners, Jasper. That's this portion right here. It is definitely throwing down a lot of precipitation, including hail, as we're seeing in the comments. And I'm seeing hail on the radar as well. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out. If you are southeast of those areas, or of that area, definitely want to keep an eye on that as this progresses to see if it maintains. If you are south of Marionville, we just had a comment that there's a lot of hail there. So Chesterville, Winchester, and Dunbar, for example, you are definitely going to see some hail based on what radar is indicating in this here. So the lots of precipitation, some small hail coming your way. If anybody has photos of hail that has fallen, by all means, please submit it and we will get it up so people can see it. And I am going to make sure I close the windows on my car so that I don't have to go outside. Okay, yeah, so those are our two storms right now that are really the concern in the region at this point. They are approaching the Seaway at this time. So within the hour, I would suspect they will be over the St. Lawrence. Hour and a half, depending whether they slow down or not. But that's what we're watching. Everything else has moved out for the most part. So these two right here, those are our culprits. So anybody who's near them is definitely going to see some heavy precip. What program to use to monitor these, Jacob? So we use Radar Scope is the one that I currently use. I've been using it for the last decade plus. Most chasers will use this. There's a lot of them. There's also several others, and I'm just pulling up all my apps on the phone here. So Radar Omega and My Radar are the other two big platforms that get used. Radar Scope, these are not free apps for the most part. Radar Scope is definitely a paid app, but for what I do or my hobby, it's definitely worth it. It's not expensive. I think it's like $10 or something like that, but I could be wrong. And then there's premium services you can subscribe to with all the apps basically. So I can't remember if My Radar and the other one is Radar Omega, whether those are free or not, I can't remember on that. I believe they possibly are free. So those are good little programs that you can use to look at information. And down the road, we're probably going to actually do some videos where we show you guys how to read radar, what it means when you're looking at radar, so that you can interpret the information there, even without us on the air, so that you can have more accurate information at your hands as storms approach you wherever you happen to be. So even if it's outside of the region you're traveling, I use these apps all the time. Like I go on a road trip and I look to see what's ahead of me, because driving on an interstate and suddenly bam, you're in a hailstorm or whatever. So it's always good to know in advance what's happening. So I use it all the time, but again, I'm a weather enthusiast, so that kind of goes hand in hand. And so 3:05 was our last scan. We are 8 minutes out from that. So definitely getting an update here within the next minute or two, hopefully. Janet, I've been using WeatherWise lately as per Ryan Hall's suggestion. More stuff available for free. Gotcha, yes. Ryan Hall, big channel down in the U.S. They cover a lot of severe weather. His channel and Max Velocity definitely was somewhat of an inspiration for us. Our purpose will only be the Canadian side of weather, because there are already some great channels down in the U.S. and I've definitely spent my fair time chasing Tornado Alley over the last decade plus. So that's what we are trying to do up here for Canadians. We definitely will. I think the winter time is going to be one of our busier times for streaming, just giving people updates as far as what's happening with winter storms, and my least favorite precipitation is freezing rain. So that one drives everybody insane. I don't think there's anybody that likes freezing rain, but who knows? It's definitely the one that none of us like for the most part. So hopefully we don't see a lot of it. Some people who lived through ice storm back in the 90s, I was one of them. We had no power for 10 days, so that's probably why I have a hate on for freezing rain, more than likely. Okay, there's our next scan. So let's zoom in to these storms. So this continues to pick up, and I'm going to highlight Kempville. There's nothing happening here. Storms to the east, storms to the west. So the Kempville split is still alive and well. So Easton's Corners, Merrickville, you guys are definitely seeing some hail, heavy precipitation, and some lightning. That will track down to Bishop's Mills, possibly North Augusta, down to Prescott, down to the Seaway and Maitland kind of area, where that's tracking right now. This other storm over here is definitely still maintaining its intensity. It is coming into Winchester and Chesterville. The main core of the precipitation is to the north of those areas. So if you are south of Morwood, you're definitely seeing some hail, is my guess. Heavy precipitation and some lightning in that area. So just scanning back up here, north of Castleman, might be getting some hail in this pocket right here. So between Bourget and Castleman, possibly getting some hail. Heavy precipitation is there in that area as well. So those are our, I'm going to zoom back out. Those are our, again, maintaining those two main areas for intensity. So just swinging back over here. Janet, love that there will be a Canadian channel to tune into to geek out about our weather. So thankful. Awesome. Well, we look forward to having everybody on board, and we're going to try, and right now it's Eastern Ontario and Canada, or Western Quebec, where we're starting. I've mentioned before, I'm hoping that Connor and I can grow this where we can spread literally across Canada. We already have other chasers that are looking to team up with us and do streaming, and so we're trying to see how we grow that and make it something that people can tune into, so that whenever severe weather happens or anything like that, that they can tune into the Canadian Weather Live platform and see what is going to impact them and if it's going to impact them. And that's always the biggest thing. And a lot of people get these warnings, but whether it's going to impact them or not, they're not 100% sure. So that unknown is one of the things that people get leery of or fear, and we don't want that happening. We want to alleviate those fears. So can you tell if Cornwall will get hail? Need to cover vegetables, bring in baskets, garden. Thanks. Okay, Willie, that's a question coming from the Cornwall region. Let me line all this up. So right now, I'm going to track this storm that Cornwall's down here. This is the intense cell right now as it sits. I'm going to see how this is tracking on the radar. So it's moving more south than east. 305, 318, so there's the latest one. It is not likely right now that this will impact Cornwall unless the storm expands eastward, and at that point it would track into Cornwall. Currently there's a wide enough gap that you're probably pretty safe. If you continue to stay tuned in here, as this moves further southeast, I will be updating because that's one of the two areas that I'm tracking for people. The other one is down here by Merrickville, Jasper area. So those are the two areas of obvious hail. If this line back here sustained and got stronger, it could come down to the Cornwall area, but again, that's a big if at this point. So we will have to continue to monitor that. I can't give you much more of a straight answer than that. So 13 days without power. Barb making a comment. We've been here for 40 years, and yes, there is a split. So if it's been around for 40 years, I can definitely take myself off the to blame board. Perfect. Thank you very much for that information, Barb. We definitely are experiencing it today again. Pouring in Winchester, with lots of thunder coming from Haley. So yes, Haley, you're going to see a lot of rain. Hopefully the hail goes between Winchester and Chesterville and doesn't go right through either one of those towns. That's what we would hope. And so that it avoids more of the towns themselves, but we will see what happens. So what's happening near Sharbet Lake? Small cell. Let me back out here. That's just a rainstorm, nothing of any intensity right now. Let me just back the radar out. It's actually dying by the looks of it. So whatever was heading towards Sharbet Lake is definitely at this point dying. Based on the last few scans there, John. Thank you for bringing that up. So nothing to worry about there. Just going to be regular precipitation. Through the storm. Okay, so Marianne, thanks for getting the scaredy cat through the storm. Ottawa airport area and sun is out. Awesome. That's what we're here for. Primarily to help people, understand what's happening with the weather and getting factual information. I will sometimes geek out a little too much and use technical terms. If I do, I apologize. Just ask me. I will clarify any kind of statements I make. And if I don't know the answer, I probably know who to talk to get those answers. So thank you, Marianne. We're here to help out any way we can. Perfect. So I'm just going to look at the next scan here, 317. So that just popped in here. So let's look at our two storms. Just a sec here. Okay, so looks like the hail has weakened a little bit on the storm in the Winchester-Chesterville area. So definitely still heavy precipitation, a little bit of hail, but it has subsided a little bit. And same can be said for the storm down by south of Merrickville towards Bishop Mills down to North Augusta. That storm has still got heavy precipitation, but the hail has definitely downtrended on the last scan. So probably still a little bit of hail in that, but nothing super serious. And I just noticed that a severe warning went out. So this is what we were talking about, anybody that wasn't tuned in yesterday. So severe warning just went out. I suspect that it was for the storm that is basically here in the Winchester, Morwood, Chesterville area. The weather box goes all the way back to almost Calabogie. So anybody who's got a cell phone in those areas is getting a severe warning, and I'm going to pull it up here just to make sure I'm not talking out of term. Give me a sec here. Yeah, there we go. Just came up. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning that came in, and it's going to say that they're tracking an area of severe thunderstorms capable of producing strong wind gusts and up to nickel-size hail. So that's for this down here. So for example, Marianne, if you were saying you were in Ottawa, which is all the way back up here, depending where you are in Ottawa, you may have gotten an alert. But this box extends to Manotick, Richmond, Almont, Pakenham, down to Clyde Forks, all the way to Westport. So anybody who's in this area back to the northwest, the storms have passed you. So it's just, again, the fallout of the poor configuration in terms of how weather warnings go out. I'll probably be a parakeet and repeat this. They are working on some improvements on that, but it's definitely needs some improvements in terms of how things go out so that the boxes go out ahead of the storm, not ahead of the storm and behind the storm. So that's what we're experiencing right now. So let me just jump back here, check on other comments. Nancy saying nothing here yet, just north of Ingleside. So that, give me a sec here. I'm going to see what time frame we're looking at to get impact there, if there's anything coming into Ingleside. So you still have a little ways to go for that to come down from Ingleside. You are definitely in the path, but I would say you've probably got about half an hour to 45 minutes before Ingleside gets into that storm. North of Ingleside, John, cracking jokes. It looks really bad in Kempville. Yeah, it's totally atrocious. So much so that the Kempville weather cam, we barely have any wind even. So out in front of my house, perfectly dry, nothing happening. So I need to step away for about a minute here. I just need to reset some equipment, so I'll be back with you guys in just a moment. Okay, we're back. So let's get back here. Very strange. I'm hearing thunder, dark skies, and just south outside of Kempville, I must be hearing the Hallville area. Yeah, the storms. So they've actually reduced the warning box. So when I stepped away, we saw that giant warning box that was put out, and now they've actually minimized it. Maybe somebody there is watching. I don't know. But this is a much better warning box that gets put out. And so it's just concentrating on those areas that have the storms within them for the most part. So again, this just got put out. And this is for the same thing they're talking about, severe thunderstorm located near Harmony and another one located near Jasper moving south at 60 kilometers an hour. 90-kilometer-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail are maximum kind of severe components. And so I have good news. Both of these storms are weakening at this time as they approach the Seaway. There was one storm that has crossed into the U.S. and popped. It's getting severe just on the New York side, and there's one over Maitland right now. So definitely some changes in what we're seeing for the weather for these storms, and it's good that they are subsiding somewhat. I'm just going to pan up here to the top to look at what's going up here. So just on near the 417, getting close to the Quebec border, there's a couple of areas of heavy precipitation, possibly some hail out here. Castleman, north of there's heavy precipitation and possibly hail as well. Again, small compared to yesterday. Nothing at this time based on this scan that would even compare. So hopefully this is quieting down. And again, I don't know why the watch is out still for the severe warning. Sorry, not the watch, the warning for Ottawa. That's long gone. I don't know what that's doing there, but it just hasn't expired yet. So yeah, the only remaining severe is essentially these two storms that we've been concentrating on. So thunder and rain just passed through Morrisburg. Okay, so that would be, if we're going to zoom into Morrisburg, maybe this little storm just to the south. I'm going to see how this tracked. Let's just go back here. Oh, okay, so there was a little cell that was that was the one that came up through Princeton that had hail on it earlier back in Princeton. So that's here. This was at 2:41, and it progressed through Morrisburg, and now it's kind of died off. Another storm popped just over Iroquois and has moved itself into the New York, upstate New York, basically. And it's getting a little intense over there. So, but it's America's problem now, not ours. So we will continue to monitor these two other storms. I suspect within the next half an hour to, well, roughly an hour, this event will be over. And it'll all have moved out of the region, and everybody can continue on with their day for the most part. So we appreciate everybody tuning in, following along as to what's happening. You can see that, that all the storms to the west have basically dissipated or gone. There's just very little rain showers, and that is it. That's, down the Highway 7 corridor, anywhere west of there, you're not seeing anything. So just this region again suffering through some, east of Ottawa is definitely getting hit again compared to yesterday, but nowhere near as intense or as to the same scale in size. It's just smaller storms that are happening. I'm just going to check back in here, see. Oh, I've got some photos that were submitted here just north of Winchester. Winds are picking up. Brian Malone submitting that. Appreciate that. Let me have a quick look here. That almost looks like Connor Mockett's car. So I'll bring this up here. I'll share this with you guys. So just as the storm was approaching, so you can see in the middle of that kind of arch of clouds, and behind that is where the precipitation is. So that darker or that lighter gray area, that's going to be your rain and potentially some hail. He sent a second photo just showing that. So thank you again for that submission to the channel. And that was again Brian Malone north of Winchester. So that's the cluster of storms that is right here. So that's this portion here from a short while ago. I'm trying to see. That was 23 minutes ago, so I apologize I didn't get to that too quickly, but that was from a little bit ago, so when they were more intense coming through the region. And 3:23, we should be getting an update here shortly on these storms. Hopefully they are dying out as they get to the Seaway. A little rain never hurt anybody, and it's good for the plant life. So hopefully that is all people see, and we just get some good solid rain out of this for those areas. Kempville, once again, dry. So let's pan out here. Yeah, they're definitely severe. So this is a great example, actually. I'm glad that I panned down here. So this is a warning box in the U.S., and they're called polygons, essentially. And you can see that they start out thin at the backside where the storm is located and widen out because they can't predict exactly where that storm is going to go. But these warnings are much more concise and precise than they are here in Canada. So storm chasers and people who use this have, been begging for the system to be improved, and hopefully that's coming soon. So Janet, how do people submit pictures? So you can either send them to canadianweatherlive@gmail.com. It's at the top of the screen there. You can send it in there. If you don't want to send by email, you can also submit it to any of our Facebook pages, which Connor Mockett Storm Chaser is one of them. Canadian Weather Live is the other. And the third is mine, Twisted Brother Chasing. Those are the three Facebook pages that you can submit them on. But Canadian Weather Live and Connor's page are probably the two we use the most. Mine was just for the hobby of I post when I go storm chasing in the U.S. or any kind of severe events that happen. So Connor Mockett is probably the number one, and number two is going to be the Canadian Weather Live one. Linda saying, after yesterday, the crops really don't need more and the dairy cows don't need thunder. Yeah, for those regions east of Ottawa that were affected, it's definitely not needed on round two. Hopefully it's not as bad as it was yesterday. And again, these things are possibly dying at this point. It does look like, so I'm seeing the latest scan here was at 329, so that popped up while we were looking at other stuff. And it does look like that these storms are calming down. And yeah, so just looking here at the intensity, they've the one by North Augusta, Bishop Mills, heading down towards Johnstown, Maynard, sorry. That one has weakened and it's just rain, very little lightning, if any, on that one. The storms coming through Winchester or Chesterville is also weakening. So we might be getting towards the end of this event at this point. Let's just have a look here. So we started, the progression from when they were just north of Ottawa to now is about 2 hours. We're just under 2 hours of live streaming here, and within that 2 hours we've moved from the Constance Bay, Dunrobin area almost down to the Seaway. So again, I suspect in the next half an hour to 45 minutes that this will essentially be out of the area for the most part, and everybody can go back to normal lives after this once the storms have passed, because to the northwest and there's nothing coming. Rachel saying, hail again in Castleman, second day in a row. That's unfortunate. I feel for you guys there. 3 times yesterday and another time today. That's enough hail for somebody for a lifetime, to be honest with you, if you're not interested in weather. So yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That must be frustrating, that's for sure. And I'm just going to look here. Okay, so I'm going to pull up, I got some submissions here from Natalie on the Facebook page. Some decent sized hailstones close to Marionville. So let me pull this up here. So as you can see, this is kind of what Castleman saw yesterday. So that cluster that was really strong just north of Winchester and Chesterville, definitely getting some decent sized hailstones. Those look like, it's always hard to guess because everybody's hand size is different, but I would say that that's probably the size of a loonie, the one on the left. So that can start to get to the point where it does damage to vehicles and crops and stuff like that. So I appreciate Natalie submitting that. So that was turned in here. And then I've got maybe another one here. Let's just take a look. Oi, okay. So this is, let me see who submitted this. So this is Jennifer Curry Rose from Ormond Road in Winchester. I will back this up here and share it with you guys. So this is, again, just near Winchester, and this is the hail that went through, and you can see the leaves on the car because as the hail's falling, it's big enough that it's shredding the leaves. So there's some decent-sized hail in there, quarters probably, pea-sized, quarter-sized, maybe nickel. That's kind of the stuff that we're seeing on that video. So again, thank you for that submission to our Facebook page. And let me just check if there's anything else. Nope. So right now we're good there. So yeah, we're the last 2 days we've seen quite a bit of hail in the region, which is somewhat out of the ordinary to have a couple days in a row of hail like this. So Alfred is in the clear, so I'm just going to scan up here. This is question from Vanessa Brazo. There's a small rain shower to the north that's of no real significance. It may or may not even rain for you, so you're in the clear at this point. Dominic saying, can confirm, Tom, hail again. Ping pongs. That's pretty big. It might not be ping pong because, again, it depends on if you're commenting, Dominic, on the picture with the from the hand perspective. It's hard to tell without any kind of something to compare it to. So it's always good when you guys submit any hail photos. If you can have something, in your hand, a quarter, a nickel, a loonie, a toonie, something in that we all kind of know what the size is. But yeah, definitely getting close to that. I would say loonie sized hail would be my guess based on that, and maybe even bigger. So let's have a look here. So yeah, all of this, we're at 335. So this is the latest scan. So the storm down Spencerville, this is dying. This is just rain showers at this point, so nothing to worry about there. This is, for the most part, dying down by Dunbar, Williamsburg. Some areas of heavy precipitation in there, a bit of lightning. Shouldn't be too intense. One area here by south of Van Cleek Hill, north of Alexandria, does have an intense precip core here. And I'm just going to cycle the radar here to just look. Yeah, so in the last few scans, it's definitely had some intensity. So this is our main area of intense precipitation between, like I said, Van Cleek Hill and Alexandria at this point. So Vanessa, love the live streaming. Thank you. Happy you guys are enjoying it. Thunder in Castleman has been on and off since 3. Coming comment from Lana. What about Cornwall Island, Ontario? So let's scroll back here. Cornwall. So Cornwall area, these storms, if they continue, they aren't gaining intensification right now. They look to be dying, so it could be just showers for that area within the next half an hour to 45 minutes roughly. And that's just a guess. There is a cell that popped up to the east of Cornwall, and I want to just cycle the radar there. So that just happened in the last 3 scans, moving from Emer's Corners, and it's going over the river. So it's getting some moisture off the water is my guess. And it's gaining a little bit of intensity, but it's crossing into New York almost immediately. It's going to be just on that southwest corner of, it's going to skirt into Quebec and then into New York, it looks like. So hopefully that answers your question about Cornwall Island. You'll probably see some showers at that point. Yeah, so looks like we're almost out of this. And I'm just gonna zoom back out. Yes, so for the most part, everything has moved out. We just have this little pocket left in eastern Ontario, western Quebec. This is the meat of the heavier precipitation as it moves kind of in these directions. That's essentially what's happening right now. So those are the only storms left for the most part. When will Castleman be in the clear? That was the $1 million question yesterday for sure. I'm just going to look at what's happening here with the storm right over Castleman. So I'm not sure if you can see it on the stream, but that's Castleman right there. And the latest update came in and it shows like you're pretty much in the clear as of right now, other than maybe a little residual showers, but it's moving through the latest scan. So next one will confirm there is a small rainstorm to the north, but nothing intense that is moving southeast. So Castleman should be in the clear in the next, I'd say, 20 minutes or so. Just had a downpour move through St. Isidore. Coming from Mustang Steve. Let's have a look here. So that's right here. And if we cycle the radar, yeah, so there were some storms that moved through St. Isidore, and they're gone now at this point. I'll back out here, back to the cycle. There is a storm kind of to the not a thunderstorm, a rain shower to the west of you. It will more than likely miss St. Isidore, but it's only light to medium rain, I would say, at this point. And I'm checking to see if they're warning anything in Quebec. The only thing that they have a warning out for was that stuff near Hawkesbury-Lachute, but that's missing for the most part at this point. So we are 3:41 p.m. So this is our latest scan. And storm over, looks like, I can't read that, Glen Sandfield, Glen Robertson area and down to Alexandria getting heavy rain, and then north of Alexandria still possibly some hail in that portion of the storm, where we've got this pink and purple highlighted area. Atlanta, major thunderstorm in Castleman. Yeah, so that's this portion of the storm that you're seeing here. So this right here is going to be the part that's still affecting Castleman somewhat. Just heavy downpour and some lightning and wind. Hopefully no hail in that. Radar doesn't seem to indicate it, but radar isn't always 100% accurate. Just looking down here to see what's happening. Oh, there's something that popped by Sealy's Bay. So there's a boundary down here from the storms that came through the region. Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit of education in terms of what happens with weather sometimes. So you can see this right here, this line that kind of curves up, goes back to Caladar, just kind of in this area right here. That's a boundary that has been left by these storms to the east. It's called an outflow boundary. And if we cycle the radar, you can see as we move through here, something pops on that boundary. Usually if something pops on a boundary, it can get intense fairly quickly, and that's what we're seeing with this little storm that is now near Sealy's Bay. It literally went in 3 scans from nothing to boom, we have possibly some hail. So this is between Morton and Sealy's Bay, and so you've got an intense precipitation core here with probably some small hail in it. So that we will keep an eye on. So, and this is why I always, wow, my program crashed. I apologize about that. Let's just get this back up and running here. Hopefully it doesn't give me a hard time like it did yesterday. Let's see here. I can still zoom in and out, so hopefully I can load everything here. Okay, good. Okay, sorry about that. Just not happy for some reason, but yes, this storm down here, it's going to come into Lansdowne, Rockport, maybe Mallory Town, and then cross into New York is my guess. So that's one area there, and then the other one here on the far east end of Ontario and the western portion of Quebec. We had light hail in St. Isidore last night as well. Yes, there were some significant storms. Castleman got quite a bit of hail 3 times, I think, yesterday, if I remember correctly. So I called that the hail capital of Eastern Ontario yesterday. So yeah, it definitely was not fun in that region yesterday, unfortunately. Okay. Just going to check something else here. So far, these storms don't seem to be knocking out the power in any major way, which is good as well. Just reporting on that. Looking down here, there's very small outages, less than 20 people in certain areas, but they are tiny for the most part. And then let's just take a look here. Yeah, no. So for the most part, we're good on the power side of things compared to yesterday. There was, I think, one region with almost 11,000 subscribers out, so not fun. I suspect they were back on before midnight, but nobody enjoys that. So let's take a look here. Get back to radar. So we are 3:41, 9 minutes ago. So there should be another scan here any moment. And I'm going to keep the two areas, bottom left corner and top right corner are essentially the areas that we're keeping an eye on, along with the St. Albert Chrysler area just south of Castleman as well. So severe rainstorm with thunder and hail in Morrisburg right now. Okay, yeah, that stands to reason. That's that little cell that came from Brinston. We'll see. Oh, it just updated now. So yes, you might even see some hail in Morrisburg, small hail. It's a tiny little cell coming through. Should pass in about 10 minutes, maybe 15. And let's look at our other areas of concern that we had. So this storm continues to intensify, and it's interesting. It's trying to hang on to this boundary that we talked about. So you can see how there's kind of like a curve here to the storm, and it's reaching out for this boundary because it's an amplified area of moisture and available energy to the storm. So let me just look at wind velocities as well. Is this going to do it? Yeah. So let's highlight the area here. So I'm looking on the right hand side of the screen. For those that aren't aware, that's the wind speeds or direction. So I'm just looking to see. So there is broad rotation on this storm because you've got red and green, but these are very light colors. They're not intense. So this is just very broad rotation, nothing of any significance, nothing to worry about. It's just it's basically normal for the most part. So there is again going to be some hail and heavy precipitation associated with that storm. The Morrisburg storm is definitely intense and will quickly cross over the St. Lawrence there. Cornwall, probably going to see some rain from the storm that is currently up in Chrysler, St. Albert, and Moose Creek. And these couple of pockets up here that we were talking about, Alexandria, and then Glen Sandfield and Glen Robertson area just near the Ontario-Quebec border. Those are our last areas of any kind of precipitation that we want to keep an eye out for. So. And I'm just going to check up on a couple of things on my pages just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, and Just updating a few things here, so I apologize while I type away here. We'll wait for the next scan to come in, which should be within the next 2-3 minutes. What? Okay, so I just saw an update from Connor out west. This was an hour ago, but apparently all of Lake Louise has no power in Alberta. So anybody that's been to Lake Louise, you know how busy that spot is for tourists. That must be just organized chaos with how many people are in the area usually for visiting that region. So Connor must be having fun doing that. I would not want to enjoy that, that's for sure. I'm just looking to see if there's any more stuff coming up here. No. Okay. Okay, let's wait for this next scan to come in. I'm actually a little surprised this storm down by Sealy's Bay hasn't been severe warned by Environment Canada, but it is north of Gananoque and Rockport, so it's not long till it's over the border, but it's still going to be there for a little bit, so I'll just keep that there and see what happens. Bring up satellite. So this is a satellite for anybody who's not aware. I've brought this up a couple times, just if you're tuning in recently, showing the satellite view of the pattern of weather moving from the north, essentially down. And I always love looking at this kind of stuff because the atmosphere is liquid, basically. It's so you can see all the waves coming from the north. And then if you look in the middle of the screen to the right, those are the storms that tracked from essentially just northwest of Ottawa and are moving through the region and are almost over the Seaway. So you can see all those thunderstorms going up. I am going to do something here and pause it. If you give me 1 second. Can I interact with this? Yes. So I am going to stop it here, or actually give me a sec here. Let's see here. So if we look just north of where the river comes into the Lake Ontario, you can see that's the Sealy's Bay storm going up, and that round cloud is essentially the updraft of it. It's pretty strong for a storm that just went or just popped. So something to definitely keep an eye on. We will get this back to cycling. And I'm just going to go back to the main layout here and see what's going on. So let's look at these storms up here. So the storms over Alexandria right now, there's a decent amount of precipitation right over Alexandria. The two other areas seem to, it's still heavy precipitation, but I would doubt that there's any hail. There might be tiny hail in that, if anything. Gonna look here, the just north of Cardinal, there's a bit of rain, heavy precipitation in that. And where was that other storm that I was watching? That was Brockville had one, but I thought there was another storm that we were looking. Oh, Morrisburg, yes. So just want to look at that and update people. So this has moved across into across the river, basically. It is now into New York, and it has lost its intensity somewhat, so and moved out of the Morrisburg area as it's crossed the border. This Sealy's Bay storm is definitely maintaining some intensity. I would bet that there's some hail falling out of the sky around northeast of Sealy's Bay, Morton, Lyndhurst area. So if you're somewhere in this region here and kind of down in this direction, which is where it's going to track, that's going to be the most intense precipitation. I'm just trying to see. So it is tracking southeast, so it is moving with that boundary. And again, this is going to impact a little bit of Mallorytown, Lansdowne for sure, Rockport, Ivy Lee, all that, where that big crossing is to go to the U.S. Is going to have it, and the 401 obviously going to get affected by the rain there. So we will continue to monitor this for a few more scans, but at this time I think the event is pretty much over. I will track this storm down by Mallorytown that we were just talking about in Sealy's Bay till it gets out of the region, and at that point I think the stream will be over, but you never know what Mother Nature has in store, so we'll keep an eye on that. Steady rain in North Lancaster with thunder. Thank you very much, Linda, for the update on that one. Hopefully, again, most of this is just ending and the intensity is dropping down at this point. So 353 was our last scan on this radar grab. So we should see, we are 4:01 p.m. So in the next minute or two, we should have another update on the radar. And I will keep this on the screen here like this, and we'll see if anything comes out of that. Sealy's Bay one down southwest of here. And let's look here. So I will zoom into this one here just to see what it does as it's approaching the Seaway and the border. And again, hopefully that updates in the next minute or so. My pleasure, Janet. Thank you for tuning in. Storms on the New York side, they're getting intense over there because they're going through the Adirondacks. So as you have hills and stuff like that, where you get bigger mountains or bigger hills, they can help with what they call orographic lift and help to intensify or create storms as well sometimes. So I suspect they're getting a little more intense because they're getting into those higher elevation regions in the New York or upstate New York area. So once they cross the border, they may re-intensify. Okay, let's wait for the scan and see what happens. I don't think we even saw a drop of rain based on my Kempville cam. I'm guessing that completely missed me based on radar and visual here. So just another calm day in Kempville. It's been 10 minutes since the last radar update. This one's taking a little longer to get out. While we're doing that, I will check the wind on this storm here. So again, there's the update that just came in. I'll get back to that in a second. So there's very broad rotation on this storm. Again, nothing to be concerned about. It's a normal process in the storm. It's still maintaining quite a bit of precipitation in it. Not a lot of lightning, but definitely still quite a bit of precipitation. With, like I said, I would guess hail in this storm, and that's the last of it, I think. I'm just looking here, yes. So everything on the eastern portion of Ontario is just thunderstorms and rain at this point. Some of them have heavier rain in them, but I think we're done with the hail for the day on those storms. Moose Creek, Avonmore, you're definitely getting some rain at this point, but that's all it is. And then down here, this is the last portion of any kind of storm that's severe. Just south of Kingston, a storm has popped just as it came across the water, which that does help storms sometimes get more intense, as I mentioned before. But that's crossing over and will be across the border there not too long from now. And then it looks like Watertown has the NWS down there has a mesoscale discussion, but that's about to expire. I'm curious what they have. So they're talking about a severe potential in terms of this is just a discussion, or what they call a discussion. So final round of strong to isolated severe thunderstorms should spread from the St. Lawrence Valley across northern New York through the rest of the afternoon. Marginal storm intensity coverage may mitigate severe thunderstorm watch issuance. So that's basically what we're seeing. So NWS does a really good job in the U.S. If you are a storm person down in Oklahoma City, they've got one of the best severe storm labs down there in terms of experts and understanding what happens with severe storms. They have a totally different version of severe than we do for the most part. It's very rare that we will see anything of the same caliber that they experience down there on a fairly regular basis, April, May, June. So they are experts. They've seen it all down there, and some of it gets pretty bad. And it's stuff I've experienced firsthand from storm chasing down there with the tornadoes and severe thunderstorms down there. I mentioned on the stream yesterday, we were talking about the hail in Castleman. The biggest hail I've seen is softballs. It destroyed my windshield. It actually put a hole through my windshield in a couple of spots. At that point, it takes the fun out of it, but that's the way it happens. That was in Wyoming. So let me look here. So Bailey Wells, I'm in the outlet, no hail, just heavy rain. Perfect. Thank you for the update on that. So that would be just down here. So the hail would be to your north or to your west at this point, if there was any. We'll see on the next scan if that progresses, but thank you very much for updating us that it's just rain at this point. .359 was our last scan on this radar, so it just updated. So let's go down here. So outlet to the northeast, there's definitely some kind of hail up there, just in this tiny pocket up here heading towards Mallorytown. And there might be just to the east of Sealy's Bay a little bit of hail, but heavy precipitation definitely associated in those areas. And as this storm continues to progress southeast from here, they just put up, it looks like a severe warning, I think, for this one. Yeah, this was just put up. So again, same thing. They're just saying favorable for development of severe thunderstorms that may be capable of producing strong wind gusts and large hail. Wind gusts up to 90 kilometers an hour and hail up to 2 centimeters. which is what they've been putting out for this afternoon on the rest of the stuff that had the severe warnings on them. So just going to look back over here. Yeah, nothing happening there. Everything that's moving off into New York. So yeah, this is our last game in town. Very close to the border now. Essentially right in here roughly. So it's getting ready to cross into New York and across the St. Lawrence and then into New York itself. So I will keep an eye on this one, and then we will end the stream after this is out of the area. I would suspect in the next half an hour. If you guys have any questions while we're watching this one little storm, weather related, I'm happy to answer questions as always. And then while we're waiting here, I'm gonna take a look, see if anybody submitted anything else. So far, nope. That's good. That's good. Perfect. Just looking at a couple of things here. Perfect. Okay. Okay. I'm actually checking to see if there's any cameras that I can look at. There's nothing up there. Down by the 401, where the crossing is to through Hill Island and off to 81, there's a couple of cameras that I might be able to look at to see if there's any rain. So far it's dry. It looks like it's dry on the 401. That storm that we're watching hasn't quite made it there yet. I'll keep an eye on that as well. Okay. Comment, big raindrops here from entrepreneurs. Where is the here? Sorry. You may have mentioned it earlier, but I've probably forgotten. I will look at the Montreal radar while we're waiting, just to see how these storms are progressing out of the region into Quebec. So heavy rain, might be a little bit of hail associated once this gets into the Quebec area, but they are not severe warned. So lightning, wind, and rain is our biggest components right now on those ones on the very eastern end of Ontario and getting into western Quebec. So quick look at that radar, and then we'll switch back to this one here, and we'll watch what this storm is doing as it progresses out of our country. Oh, okay, Cornwall Island, yes, so that'll be back up down in this area here. So there's a couple of larger storms southwest from there. You're probably seeing that kind of stuff happening. So thank you for the update on that. Next update should be here. Okay, well, now it's a game of patience waiting for this one update, just to see what's happening with this storm. I'm hoping it's dying as it leaves the area, and the event will be over. And looks like, I'm not sure, I'm just going to look here to see what our weather looks like for the region for the next few days. There may be some rain on the weekend, probably Sunday night into Monday, maybe even during Sunday during the day, but that's the only weather right now currently on the map in terms of coming for this region. So the storm is dying as it's approaching the border. Mallory Town definitely getting some heavy precipitation in there, a little bit of lightning. Lansdowne's definitely getting some decent rain in that area. Heading towards Ivy Lee, Rockport. Gananoque might even get in on the game a little bit. Alexandria Bay. And that's basically it at this point. So we will continue here. And just going to go back to our satellite view. Yeah, so you can see that, yeah, the storms are definitely getting, as you can see, the clouds are getting wispy. That's just the storms dying off. And then generally when you see, I call it cauliflower or broccoli, if you're looking at storms, the crisper those look, the more intense they are. So whenever you're looking at storms in the area or anywhere, if you see that cauliflower broccoli look, that's definitely a strong storm. If you see it like, looks like cotton candy, it's wispy, that's a storm that's weakening or dying. The updraft isn't maintaining, so it's a good visual indicator if you're looking at storms. What they look like on the updraft helps to understand what's happening. So I'll wait for this next scan, and probably going to pull the plug on the stream at that point. We're, what, 4:11, so another 3-4 minutes before we get an update here, unless it intensifies. If it intensifies, or if it's just dying, then it's just going to be regular, thunderstorm with some rain. If it goes the other way and intensifies, then I'll stick with it till it gets out of the region. It looks like the stuff that crossed into New York is definitely intensifying. So across from Morrisburg, Cardinal, that kind of area on the New York side, those storms are picking up intensity once they got across into the higher terrain, is my guess. Before we cut the stream for the end of the day, always, I thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all the people following and watching. If you do want to get notified of any time we do go live on weather events for the region, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel. Definitely turn on that notification icon, because it'll send you an alert when we do go live for these storm analysis, and when we have Connor back in the region with eyes on the ground. Definitely helps us out on the channel, helps us grow, and we look forward to what the next year brings, and hopefully we can grow and expand this and take it outside of the region as well. Okay, 4:11, 8 minutes. So we'll get back and take a look at this. I definitely wouldn't want to be on the water down by Rockport, Ivy Lee, Alexandria Bay with this rain shower coming through. Definitely going to be fairly intense, and again, probably some lightning there. Not super windy. Gonna just take a look. Yeah, there's some wind, but nothing too intense. Okay, hopefully this comes up any second here. Does anybody have any questions that I can maybe answer in the chat as well before we cut out? Or if so, just throw them up there and I'll do my best to answer it. Huh, interesting. So this looks like it's splitting. The storm is kind of split into two concentrated areas. Just to the north of Mallorytown, we've got some lightning and heavy precipitation over Mallorytown itself. And then there's an area down here which is between Willits Home and Lansdowne, and it's almost pushing outward. I'm going to just check the scan here, just go back a step. No, it's just dropping south essentially, so it'll be just to the east of Gananoque, just as it heads towards the river or the border. And so there's still a couple areas of decent precipitation. Lower right thunder starting up again in Brockville. There would be from the storm that just crossed. There's just a little cell to the southeast of Brockville, which would be this one. Whoop, didn't click my button. This one right here. So that's what you're probably hearing that from, or it could even be from the Mallorytown portion of that storm that's southwest of Brockville. So depending where you're located, obviously Brockville is a decent sized area, so that's what you could be hearing or seeing in terms of the storms. And I'm just going to pan back up here. Yeah, everything's moved out of the region for the most part. Chuta, Blondeau, Saint Eugène, and Van Cleek Hill, though that kind of triangle, there's a bit of a storm there, some rain. But again, no real lightning associated, maybe the odd bolt out that way. And that's essentially it on that one. So this still has some lightning for the storm just coming up to the border down by Lansdowne. And so it's still packing a bit of a punch, nothing too intense, but definitely lots of rain associated with this. So appreciate it, Nadine. Thanks for tuning in as well. Same for Logger John. Happy to do it, and hopefully we get a couple days off here with some nice weather. But the next time anything rolls through that's going to be intense at times. We will definitely jump on it. Connor looks to be back here in this region. I'm hoping by the 12th. Or somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe a little later than that, 12th to the 15th of the month, and then it'll be back to your regular scheduled programming as far as Connor being on the ground here in the area for doing his forecasts and for doing live streaming from the vehicle. So you're welcome, Marie. Thank you for the kind words as always. Hope to catch you on the next one. And hopefully that's a few days out at least. So maybe, I don't think there'll be anything severe on Sunday, but I'll be looking at models closely, and we'll see as we get closer to that time frame whether anything will happen out of there. And we will definitely put a notice up about the live streams if we do go live. If we have enough notice and we can, with enough certainty as well, these kind of days, you never know if they're going to happen or not, so we don't put out anything in advance really. But if there's a day where, models are agreeing that severe weather will happen in the region, we will put something out ahead of time just to give people the heads up to be somewhat prepared and that the possibilities are there. So we're in that time of year, July, August, where that's our peak up here in Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec. So we will definitely be seeing severe weather increasing over the next 2 months, I would suspect, all the way into September, essentially. So we will stick through it and keep you as informed as we can. So we should get another update here shortly for this storm. And we'll see how it transforms on the next scan. Thank you, Nadine. Appreciate that. The likes are definitely important. Helps us get the channel out there and get the information out to people that need it. So definitely smash the like button, as they like to say. Just panning around here just to take a look if anything else is going, but there's nothing essentially. There we go. There's the scan. So, crossing the river here on the latest scan just near Mallory Town, that is now moved off onto the St. Lawrence and heading into New York. Rockport, Lansdowne, just regular showers, and then just heading for Gananoque. So down by the casino and that area in there, this portion is just kind of heading out into the open area of the St. Lawrence and into Clayton, New York, essentially. So I would suspect 2 more scans and this will be out of the area. And then at that point, it's basically going to be somebody else's problem and not anything to do with Ontario. So probably on that note, I'm going to end the stream. I'm just looking to see if there's anything of any significance here. But essentially, we're done with the event for the day. So for the next 20 minutes, if you're in the Gananoque, Ivy Lee area, you're probably just going to see heavy showers with small pea-sized hail, roughly would be the maximum I would expect. And I'll look at wind velocities before wind is not a problem at all, just minor wind at this point. So appreciate everybody tuning in today. Thank you very much for hanging with us, whether you were here for a minute or the 3 hours almost that we've been on the air. We appreciate everybody that checks in. So thanks again. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and we will talk to you guys soon.